JP, 730 Sports. All right, so the Golden State Warriors dropped one to Boston, stopped the home winning streak. And the question is, everybody's talking about should they be resting? Um, for those that want them to go for the record, I guess not. But here's my question, and I'll give my opinion in a minute. But my question is, isn't the second title more important than the record? How many games you win? I mean, which one is more important? Because if you break the Bulls' winning total, but don't win the title, does it really matter? It's like when the Patriots went undefeated in the regular season but lost the Super Bowl. It doesn't matter. It makes no difference. So my thing is, the back-to-back titles is what solidifies you. That's what makes you an all-time great. You know, Now if they break the Bulls record and win the title, well, hey, that's all great. But right now, I think you might want to, me personally, let's sit some guys down. To hell with the record. First of all, Golden State's second team is good enough to win them some games. We've seen that already. All right, so I don't know. Strange situation. Steve Kerr saying he doesn't think the guys need rest. I don't think they need rest. But just because you don't need rest doesn't mean rest isn't good. You know? My thing is, I think they should be focused on the title, not the Bulls' record. And if you need to sit some guys down in order to assure that happens, then you do that. To hell with the record. Win the title. You got to win the title. Now, losing to Boston's not that big of a deal. The streak had to come to an end at some point anyway. And Boston, feisty team, good coach, potentially great coach in Brad Stevens. Good pieces. He knows how to use them. Losing to Boston is really not a lot of shame in that. All right. If you've been watching the Celtics, not bad. Not bad at all. But the teams that they have to worry about, the Clippers and Oklahoma City and Houston might not even make the playoffs. Those teams can't seem to beat them anyway, so, what does it matter? San Antonio, I think, has the best shot. I think that would be a great series if they meet up. Shit tends to happen. You never really know. But I guarantee you this much. The Clippers don't have a shot, and Oklahoma City doesn't have a shot. And Oklahoma City have 2 of the top 6 players in the NBA, maybe 2 of the top 5 players in the NBA. But the rest of the squad is the problem when they go up against Golden State. Basically Clay and Steph neutralize, what you get from Westbrook and Durant. So now it comes down to the rest of the guys, and that's where the problems come in for Oklahoma City. And coaching. I'm still not sure about the coaching in Oklahoma City. It's better, but I don't know if they're ready to go X and O's with the Golden State Warriors. I'm not sure about that yet. Like I said, the Clippers, only guy that really cares about beating Golden State and has a chip on his shoulder about Golden State is Chris Paul. And I'm not even sure it's about Golden State. I think it's more about Steph Curry with them. Because basically right now, Steph Curry is that guy. He's the dude. And Chris Paul, you're not that dude. A lot of people are trying to deal with the fact that the Steph Curry thing has turned him into a second story. LeBron's trying to deal with it. Chris Paul's dealing with it. And it just is what it is, So Chris Paul wants to beat Golden State, but he more wants to beat Steph Curry. Clippers just aren't going to be able to do it. First of all, they can't keep their composure in critical moments. They can't close out games. Coaching is a problem. DeAndre Jordan, Jesus. Right now, I don't think DeAndre's worth the money he's getting paid. First of all, you can't play him at crunch time because he can't make free throws and he can't keep his cool. So, Doc Rivers can't keep his cool. So the Clippers, I don't think, have a shot here. Golden State will be fine. I think San Antonio is the competition, and I don't think they're concerned too much about anybody coming out of the East, including the Cavs. You know, the Cavs are what they are right now. They're a team of it's just a mess over there. You know, but it's a clean mess. As crazy as that might sound. In other words, it's not super messy. It's not like Sacramento or nothing like that. But LeBron and his little jabs and, and how guys are taking it. And, they still don't know how to use Kevin Love. They're messing that up. J.R. Smith and, when you're playing J.R. Smith big minutes in crunch time, you're already in trouble. You already have a problem. So, we'll see. I still like Golden State to win the title. I'm not concerned. I will put money on it, but they're the favorite. The odds aren't that good. What's the point of betting? So, outside of that, we'll see what happens. NBA playoffs coming soon. JP 730 Sports, we out.